Well, hello. I'm C.S. McDonald, and I'm sure you've seen my posts for my Cozy Mysteries, the Fiona Quinn Mysteries, on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And today I decided to read you a little snippet of the latest installment from the Fiona Quinn Mysteries, Waves of Murder. Now, this released in May, and I believe in June or July it came out available on Audible as well. So if you're somebody who likes to listen to a book on your way to or from work, or perhaps you've got the family in the car and you're on your way for a vacation, this is an excellent book because everybody in the car can listen to it because it's a clean read. It's good for your teen, your tween, and you don't have to worry about the content. It's a fun, cozy mystery. And you can see who in the car can figure out who the murderer is by the time you reach your destination. But beware, there's always twists and turns in a Fiona Quinn mystery. Okay, let's get right to it. Fiona is a kindergarten teacher in the Pittsburgh School District, and she lives in the house that I grew up in Pittsburgh, 529 Oxford Street. And the difference between Fiona and I is that her grandmother, Evelyn Burrell, who is actually my grandmother, lives in her attic as a ghost. Now, while I don't focus on the paranormal, that's not what this is about, it still is a fun little addition to the storyline. Sometimes Grandma gets involved in these mysteries in just a tiny little way. She helps Fiona out, and the reviewers tend to really like Grandma and Evelyn. I know, I loved her to death. So anyway, Fiona isn't at 529 Oxford Street. She's at Presque Isle, and she's there because she was editing a book for a famous romance author. Unfortunately for that author, she ended up dead, and the suspects are coming out of the sand. So Fiona finds herself at home at the cottage by herself and face to face with one of those suspects on the doorstep. And that's where we pick up our little snippet. "Are you Fiona Quinn?" the man inquired. "Yes." "May I come in? I'd like to talk to you about Wyla Parks." "Who are you? A reporter?" "No, I'm Sam Urich." "Please, Miss Quinn, I assure you, I have no intentions of harming you in any way. I feel terrible for what happened to Wyla. Lester Crane told me that the police may be looking for me, and I've been in hiding, but I had nothing to do with Wyla's death." "Well, if you had nothing to do with Wyla's murder, why don't you go to the police and tell them that?" "I have my reasons, and I'll tell you what they are. Please, I beg you, let me explain," the man pleaded. Fiona bit her lip. He seemed harmless, yet his request went against everything she'd been taught by her parents. Nathan would never approve, and his plea certainly went against what she taught her kindergartners. Don't get into a car with a stranger. Don't answer the door to a stranger. And never, never let a stranger into your house. Yet, here she was, certainly considering allowing him to come in. Sam Urich, a possible suspect in a murder investigation. Nathan was probably a good 2 hours away. Plenty of time for Sam, the serial killer, to do his bidding and dispose of her body. Except if she sent him packing, he could go back into hiding and never resurface. The information he had, or supposedly had, could be vital to the investigation. Was she insane? Had she lost her marbles? Here she was, Fiona Quinn, the responsible kindergarten teacher, actually considering letting a potentially dangerous man into the cottage. She glanced over her shoulder toward the bedroom. Yep, Harriet was still sawing logs in the middle of the bed. Well, so much for the theory about being protected by a dog. "Please, Miss Quinn, I really need to talk to you," Sam said, his voice becoming more desperate by the moment, and Fiona was feeling bad for him. It was official. She was one French fry short of a Happy Meal, maybe 3. because she had her fingers on the security chain and she was starting to lift it from the latch. How could she face her kindergartners in the fall and preach on stranger dangers? She was breaking all the rules. Nathan would be... Nathan! Slipping the chain back into the latch while grabbing her cell phone from the table, she said, "Wait a moment. I'm going to make a phone call." "No, please, don't call the police. I'll leave. I won't bother you anymore." "I'm not calling the police." "Well, not really. I'm calling my boyfriend. He's a homicide detective from Pittsburgh, not Erie. I'm going to put him on speaker so he can hear our entire conversation. You have to understand, you're a stranger and I'm a kindergarten teacher." Sam snorted. "I understand exactly where you're coming from. I used to be a kindergarten teacher. People used to say things like, 'Odd, a male kindergarten teacher,' or 'You're a kindergarten teacher?' I didn't think men taught those classes. My personal favorite was, 'I bet those little kids are terrified of you,' being a man and all. In reality, I think they viewed me as less of a man because I was a kindergarten teacher, not a history teacher or a gym teacher. Yeah, those guys get all the respect." Fee, are you there? Is everything okay?" Nathan's voice coming from the cell phone snapped her to attention. She lifted the chain and opened the door. "Yes, Nathan, I'm here. I've called you and put you on speaker because Sam Urick's here." "At the cottage?" "Yeah, he wants to tell us about his relationship with Wyla." Fee?" She turned to Sam. "Please, Mr. Urick, have a seat." Sam sat on the couch. Fiona laid the cell phone on the coffee table. That's when Sam announced, "Well, I guess I should tell you that my name really isn't Sam Urick. That's a pen name." "I see," Fiona said. "Well, lots of authors have pen names." "Fee!" "Yes, they do, but not for the same reason that I have one, I'm afraid," Sam explained while wringing his hands in his lap. "Fee!" Nathan let out a loud sigh. "Fiona!" "Could you please stop interrupting, Nathan? Sam is about to tell us why he has a pen name." "I know why he has a pen name. My real name is Sam Ursler. By your boyfriend's reaction, I think he recognizes the name." Fiona's eyes widened. She was fairly certain her heart skipped 5 beats. She swallowed back the regret that she was terrified she was about to experience. Sam continued, "I spent 9 years in prison for killing the principal at the elementary school where I was a kindergarten teacher." Fiona let out a gasp before she could call it back. Only this time, she was absolutely sure it was her gasp and no one else's. This is exactly what happens when she breaks the rules. She had blatantly disregarded every stranger danger rule in the book, and now she had a convicted murderer sitting in her living room. Double yikes with a French fryless Happy Meal on top. Well, I hope you enjoyed the snippet from Waves of Murder. Remember, it's available in Kindle and on paperback and Audible. Hey, you have a great day, and join us here again another time for a snippet from another Fiona book. See you later.